Imagine throwing the biggest wedding of your life, and suddenly, the wine runs out. In that moment, your celebration turns into shame, and everyone is about to find out. But then, a quiet man steps in. No magic words, no attention, just a simple command. And what happens next? No one at that wedding could ever explain. This was the moment Jesus revealed his power for the very first time. In the small town of Cana, a wedding celebration was in full swing. Laughter filled the air. Music echoed through the streets. Families gathered. Friends rejoiced. Among the guests was Jesus, his disciples, and his mother Mary. Everything seemed perfect, but behind the scenes, something was about to go terribly wrong. The unthinkable happened. The wine ran out. In that culture, this wasn't just a small mistake. It was a disaster, a humiliation, a shame the family would never forget. The host panicked. Servants whispered in fear. The celebration was moments away from collapse. But one person noticed, Mary. She saw the problem before anyone else. She walked quietly to Jesus and said only a few words, "They have no more wine." Jesus looked at her. His response seemed distant. "Woman, why do you involve me? My time has not yet come." But Mary didn't argue. She turned to the servants and said, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 large stone jars, used for ceremonial washing. Empty. Jesus gave a strange command. "Fill the jars with water." The servants hesitated. This made no sense, but they remembered Mary's words. So they obeyed. They filled the jars to the very top. Then Jesus said, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." No lightning, no loud explosion, just obedience. A servant dipped his cup into the jar, but what came out was no longer water. It was wine. Rich, perfect. A miracle had just happened. The master of the banquet tasted it and froze. He called the bridegroom and said, "Everyone brings out the best wine first, then the cheaper wine later. But you have saved the best till now." The host was confused. The guests kept celebrating. Only the servants knew what had truly happened. This was the first sign. The moment Jesus revealed his glory, not in a palace, not before kings, but at a simple wedding, saving a family from shame. And his disciples saw it and believed. When everything runs out, when you think it's over, God can still turn your emptiness into something greater than before. But the question is, will you trust him before the miracle happens? Comment, "I believe," if you trust God even in your waiting. Subscribe for more powerful Bible stories.
Glory to the Ancient One, glorious with an eternal praise.
Your devotion is noted. Rise and witness my eternal glory.